けた夢が刺さる痛みにあえぎながら光の刃を鬼にして戦い続けるだけ裂かれた傷が流す真っ赤なマグマのような光を刃に
Rean?
Emma? I didn't think anyone else would come here so late at night.
No. You shouldn't have to do that. I'm so sorry. I had no idea that anyone was in here. Still, this might be the perfect chance for us to sit down and talk.
Pardon?
It feels wonderful to bathe here during the winter. I love the feeling of warmth coursing through your entire body while relaxing.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's my favorite time of the year to relax in the springs, too. But never mind that. Are you sure you're comfortable with both of us being here, Emma? It's pretty late, and with the two of us, it's kind of...
I see what you mean. Still, I'm modestly covered, so I don't think it's too much of a... I'd appreciate it if you didn't stare at me so much, however. Although, I can't blame you too much. I'm the one who decided to come...
I wasn't doing it on purpose. Sorry. Anyway, you said you wanted to talk, right? Was it about anything in particular?
Yes, as it so happens. I wanted to thank you, Rean.
Thank me? Thank me for what? I don't feel like I've done anything that warrants being thanked.
Well, everything, I suppose. I wanted to thank you for surviving all this time so that we could meet again. And I wanted to thank you for coming all the way to Legram to get us. Crow may not be with us, but you're the reason the rest of us are together again.
I think that's a bit of a stretch. Besides, it was only because of you guys that I was able to do anything at all.
Oh, that's so sweet of you to say. Everyone contributed something in some way. However, I believe Class 7 can only be what it is with you. We all believed you would get back on your feet and fight. And it's because you pulled through that we made... I feel that way, and I know everyone else does too. So... It took a lot of courage to come in here and tell you that, you know.
It just finally hit home that everything Elise said was true. I had no idea that everyone was thinking of me as much as they were, or that so many people were looking out for me. It just made me realize all over again how blind I've been all this time, so I couldn't help but laugh at myself.
Oh, I see. Our bonds are stronger than you realize. They won't be broken so easily, Rean. I hope you never forget that.
Don't worry, I won't. Now that Class 7 is together again, I'm sure we'll be able to go back to the academy one day. As long as we don't give up, I know we can make that a reality. So, let's give it everything we've got.
Of course.
Oh, you went up a rank. Here's a little something from the guild. Nice work. You did all right, I guess.
I thought long and hard about it, and I think we as a class need to find a third way. A path of our own, separate from the ones the reformist and noble factions are taking.
A third way, you say? I do agree. It wouldn't feel quite right for us to do...
True. We might be military academy students, but we're still students.
Involving ourselves in a civil war isn't something we should take lightly. We might have a divine knight on our side, but we're still going to need to be very careful how we proceed.
Whatever we do, Valimar will certainly be at the center.
No doubt. We've all seen how powerful the Divine Knights are. If we use them right, we can intervene in the war.
They're quite literally beings of legend. However, his potential influence on the war is all the more reason why he will need to be used cautiously.
What are we gonna do then? Even if we agree on not siding with either of the factions, I'm pretty sure each of us have different stuff we want to do, and different things that we have to do too.
Yeah, that's true. For my part, I need to rescue Elise and Princess Alphen from the noble, whether it's alone or with you guys.
There's no way you'll be alone for that. We're with you all the way. I'm concerned about Dad too, what with them having him under arrest.
I still can't get in contact with Fiona either. I'm glad I was able to see Dad, but I'm worried about her.
For me, I'm worried about Ruhr as a whole. It's a huge relief to see you're alright, Sharon, but Mother's still unaccounted for.
I'm sorry I can't do more to comfort you, my lady.
And I have no idea where Father's been for the past month. I'm certain he must be well, but all the...
We're all worried about our families, I see. Hopefully, we can find some information on all of them before the fighting gets any more fierce.
I'm certainly not worried about the safety of mine. Although, suffice it to say, if we choose to intervene in the war, conflict with them is all but inevitable.
That goes for Xeno, and they've been hired by the Noble Alliance, so I'd say it's likely we'll run into them in the future.
Plus, Emma and I to see what exactly she's trying to do. To figure out what's so important to her that she was willing to break a taboo to do it.
That's true.
Whatever you decide to do, you'll have my full support. Just as the warriors of Nord did 250 years ago, I'm determined to fight to protect my second homeland, and those who live within it.
Oh, same! We can do this! I can back him up, right, Claire?
How could I say no? I have my own duties to take care of as part of the Railway Military Police, but I fully intend to support all of you with everything I have.
I'm thinking it's about time I return to... But I'll still be in touch with Sarah, so I'm sure I can lend a hand or two anytime you need it.
Naturally, I'd be overjoyed to
I'm your instructor, so you're stuck with me to the very end. Whatever you choose to do, you'll have my support. You're going to need to decide on a more specific course of action, though. Resolving to find a third way is a start, but only a start. It also leaves plenty of questions that need to be answered on top of it all.
Well, then how about this? Let's figure out right now whether or not we want to keep...
Just so we're clear on this, there's a limit to how many people can use this, and with as many people as we have now, I'm not sure how useful it's going to be at this point.
And we're limited on how frequently we can use it.
Oh, right.
But we're also just as limited on where we can go otherwise. We haven't exactly been the most subtle group around. Who's to say we could even operate elsewhere?
An astute point. The Noble Alliance will no doubt be even more wary of us than before.
In the end, no matter what we decide, we lose.
Indeed. Yet we're short on time, so a decision must be made.
There's gotta be something that only we...
Yeah. I don't know what it is, but I know it exists. And I'm sure the best thing we can do now is keep talking things out until we find...
Well, doesn't this look fun? Mind if I join in?
What in the world?
It couldn't be.
Vita!
It's lovely to see you again, Emma. You were finally able to reunite with all of your classmates. I'm happy for you. The goddess was on your side after all.
Cut the crap, Vita. Have you been listening in all this time?
Where are you?
I'm not far at all. Listen close.
Is that...
It's coming from a...
What's the Pantagruel do?
Damn it! I didn't think she'd tell the rest of their army where we were.
But why now?
Why?
Vita!
Vita! Yes, I am here, in the flesh. Good day to you all. As nice as it would be to... I wouldn't want to keep our guest of honor...
Isn't that the Azure Knight? Crow.
Long time no see, guys. Sorry for dropping in on you like you ready to have some fun.
Is that really you, Crow?
There's no doubt about it.
See, you damn terrorist.
Come on!
Right! Heed my call! Valimar!
Acknowledged.
Because at the end of the day, he's just an obstacle that needs to be overcome. So lend me your power, Valimar!
Very well. Use my power as you see fit.
I was hoping you would, and you did. But potential is only that. Potential. And you...
Dad.
Aren't those the Alliance's allies?
Long time no see, kiddos. You doing all right, Fee?
I see the purple lightning has joined your ranks.
Zeno. Leo.
Zephyr!
And a few members of Ouroboros.
And look, Sammy's here too.
Kindly stop referring to Clown Soleus with that bizarre...
Oh, it's a pleasure, all right. Time for my long...
It's only been 2 days since you first fought them, you know.
This could pose a problem. Why send so many power...
You've proven to be rather
Rufus!
I'm pleased to see you all again, lady. As for you, dear brother, so, you've finally gathered up the will to make the difficult choices life set at your feet, even if those choices place you in my line of fire.
The Noble Alliance is pulling out all the stops to finally get...
Rean, we'll take care of everything here. You and Valimar.
Are you sure?
We're in for a real...
Leave the battle on the ground to us.
Wait, I know they're all strong.
Well, what do you say we get started?
Here he comes!
I'm impressed. You man, it's only been a month or so, but you've really grown as an Awakener, Rean.
Well, it's hard to go through the kinds of things I have without growing from... And now that I've done all that, I'm going...
No, you're not. I said you could hold your own, not that you could win. Remember, there's still a 3-year gap's worth of... And it's time you realize just how much of an impact...
That's enough, Crow!
Do they really stand a chance?
Well, they're putting up a good fight. Yeah, it's not looking good. They're outnumbered, for one thing.
Then it's time we
Agreed! What?
Always in a rush, aren't you? Stay right where you are.
You would...
Trying to stop us from joining...
I'd rather... I'll let you make the first move. It's been quite some time since I last instructed you in
Wow.
His guard's perfect.
Stay alert. Rufus is a master of... We'll need to put all we have into this battle to even stand a chance against him.
I would have it no other way.
Show me what you're capable of.
Okay.
treasure these final moments.
I'll handle it.
Witness the fruits of my training! Radiant Lion!
Okay. One, two. And done. Yes, sir! Come on, Lammy! Gotta get quicker! I'll handle it. It's not over yet. This is bad. You're finished. Full speed ahead.
I'll handle this.
Onward! Arcus, activate!
Must have been paying attention. Yes, sir! Yes, sir! Yes, sir! Yes, sir! I'm done for.
Well, I won't deny that was an entertaining diversion. But you'd do well to intensify your training regimen if you hope to best me.
How is he so strong?
He didn't stand a chance.
He might even be stronger than Sarah.
Are you guys okay?
Hey, you really think you've got time to be worrying about them? You ain't getting out of this one, Green.
All right, bring it on! It's time to settle this, Crow!
Bring it on!
This'll be a tough one.
Think you can handle this? You're wasting your time! Eat this! Hope you're ready! You're wasting your time! Darkness! You're wasting your time! Think you can handle this? Eat this! Hope you're ready!
This is bad.
Burn to ash! Darkness! Clean! There! Gotcha! Let's go! Gotcha!
Hang in there!
Settled enough for you? Didn't even bother to use that trump card.
He wasn't even trying last time, and...
Come on. With the way you are now, I don't even need to try. I'll always win. And that Reen perfectly illustrates just how massive the gulf between us is. Maybe you think you've had it tough up till now, but you're gonna need to go through a hell of a lot more if you want to even the odds.
I see the battle here has come.
Oh, hey Vita.
I can't help but feel a little bummed that everything went exactly as I thought it would. Still, it just goes to show how much faith I have in your skills, my sweet Azure Chevalier.
Funny, I don't recall ever becoming yours. How's everything up top?
I think it's only a matter of time before the battle is decided. But we've caused enough trouble for the people of Ymir already. It's about... Finestrum Phantasma Window.
My apologies for not coming down to speak with you in person. You know who I am, of course, but I am Duke Kai...
Duke Cayenne?
So even the big...
I must say, what a curious group we have here. I'd heard as much, but allow me to extend my most heartfelt congratulations. My expectations have thoroughly been exceeded. When I saw young Eustace and Laura in Legrand... Oh, I'm sure your parents must have warned you, but I suppose every child... Duke Alberea was simply livid about what happened. But it can't...
Lisa's mouth.
Did you come all the way here just to tell us that?
Don't be silly, child. Reen Schwarzer. I had this meeting arranged because perhaps the method was a touch too garish for something so simple, but do forgive me for not formally requesting.
With me?
With you. Allow me to... I wish to invite you, Ashen Chevalier, aboard our flight. I've heard all about your magnificent exploits across the land, and so I thought it would be nice to sit down and have a long, pleasant chat with you about the past, the present, as well as your future.
Are you suggesting... You want
Should you accept my invitation? Furthermore, I give you my personal assurance that we will leave this village alone for the duration of this war. A fine proposition, is it not?
Very well. Allow me to accept...
Don't be an idiot. This is clearly a...
A trap or not, this might be a good chance. Valimar, transport Celine back out...
Are you certain?
Now hold it right...
Don't worry about me. The odds were against all of us getting... And I'm sure... Valimar, if you...
Very well.
Wait!
It seems the time has come for us to part ways once again. But remember this. You're an Alberea. There is power and dignity in that name. To whatever end you would use it, I want you to prove that the convictions you cling to are worthy of your loyalty. Not for my benefit, but for yours.
Wait!
Lord Rufus!
Well met, Lord Schwarzer. To allow me to extend my apologies for the harm my father...
Never mind that. What do you intend? And what is a promising young man like yourself?
We're simply going to borrow young Reen for a short while. I'm a busy man these days, though.
Reen!
They all finally got back together, too. Why?
Sorry, but I'll be so stay safe.
Reen! Reen!
So this is what Duke Cayenne looks like from up close. It's hard to believe that I've ended up in the same room as the leader of the Noble Alliance. Although, I guess we did meet back in Legram before the war broke out.
Reen Schwarzer. Truth be told, we don't... We only acted as we did, due in part to our dear... He garnered the trust of His Majesty, and in turn misused that trust. He flagrantly disregarded this nation's beloved culture and traditions, treating Erebonia as if it were his own personal property. Surely you too...
Well... I can't say I disagree. We did hear story after story during our field studies about how aggressive his policies were. The way he didn't care how many enemies he made as a result, creating terrorist.
But as I said, the cause of our nation's ills is now gone. Now, all that remains is to... The key to this bright future lies in putting aside our differences and joining hands. Am I wrong?
I'm afraid that yes. Do you honestly believe that people can so easily put aside their differences after all the Alliance has done? You occupied Heimdall and effectively took every one of its citizens hostage, imprisoned the Imperial family. And let's not forget how you're now in league with the enemy nation responsible for the destruction of Gorelia Fort. After all that, the Imperial army would never bow their heads to the likes of you, even if the rest of the population did.
My word! I'm afraid there's been a terrible misunderstanding. The Imperial family is simply under our loving protection. But that does bring me to... The Azure Knight is already on our side. That would mean we'd have 2 of the great knights of Erebonian legend to put into play. Couple them with our Panzer Soldats, and the Imperial armies. You may not find us winning the war ideal, but...
I don't think it's that simple.
I beg to differ. The presence of Soldats units on a battlefield makes a tremendous difference. What they may lack in firepower and armor compared to tanks, they make up for. But more important than even those factors is the psychological impact they have on a...
Well...
We're only human. As such, we are as captivated as we are terrified of giant beings bearing human form. And if that holds true even for mass-produced Soldats made with modern technology, it will be all the more true for the Divine Knight.
Can't argue with that logic.
I will say it, and with his death, all that's left to be done is end this ridiculous war and return order to... Only then will That includes both your pleasant academy life and the peaceful days of dark...
Are you... Whatever you ultimately decide, I would ask that you promise him this, if nothing else, your grace.
Rufus.
We may stand on opposite sides of this conflict, but I still... And in that capacity, I suggest you consider care. After all, every soldier must decide for himself whether a cause is worth fighting. Perhaps... I look forward to hearing your answer.
All that's left to be done is end this ridiculous war and return order to the Empire. Only then. That includes...
I suggest you consider... After all, every soldier must decide for... I look forward to hearing it.
It's hard to argue that this war began, but the longer it goes, if I join them... No, this isn't that... Think, Rain. I was able to reunite with the others, but Elise and Princess Al... What's the best thing I can... This isn't just about me.
Keep racking your brain like that.
What do you want?
Hey now, no need to give me that look. I figured I was gonna find you busy thinking everything. What do you know?
How about you mind your own... And don't you have better things to do with your time? I figured the glorious Azure Cheval...
It's tough being popular. If you joined us, I could get away with doing half the work I am now. So come on, stop freaking out about it so much and make a choice.
This isn't something I can just decide by flipping a coin, Crow. Besides, it'd probably be an easier choice if not for a certain someone. What's that in your hand, anyway?
Grub, of course. Kinda early, but I brought you your lunch.
Hamburgers, fries, and onion rings, huh? I was expecting something more fancy like I had last night.
Oh, that kind of food more your thing? Okay then, give me a minute while I go ask the chef to...
No, the burger looks delicious.
Cool. Alright, dig it.
This tastes kinda different. Oh, no wonder. It's got whitefish in it.
Yeah, they're called fish burgers. Pretty good, right?
Yeah, the tartar sauce makes for an unusual... Oh. This tastes amazing. I like this way more than the food I had last night, to be honest.
Well, glad to hear it. Guess it was worth putting my cooking skills to the test after all.
Wait, you made this?
Was my first time cooking in a while, too. Sharon could probably do better, though. But I wanted to give it a shot anyway. This stuff was like soul food back in Jirai, where I grew up.
Oh.
To think, all the time we spent searching for the leader of the Imperial Liberation Front, and he was right under our noses. Crow Armbrust from the Jirai SEZ.
Oh, yeah. Vita was using some weird thing of hers to let you see what was going on, wasn't she? So I guess you saw what happened then.
Yeah. Jirai was that special economic zone in the northwest you guys went to during our August field study.
We didn't run into anything like that in the Jirai, though I guess that makes sense seeing as it's under the direct control of...
I seem to recall that it was annexed 8 years...
So you ended up going back to your old home?
Yeah, by pure coincidence. It's changed a lot since I was last there, so it was kind of surreal being back again. But it was nostalgic in its own way, too.
It's been bugging me for a long time now. What could have made you want to join a group of terrorists like the Imperial Liberation Front? What was it that made you hate Chancellor Osborne that much? Enough to take his life? Tell me, Crow. Please. I want to know what it was that made you who you are now. what kind of place Jirai was, how you lived there, and what you were doing before you entered the academy and met Toa, Angelica, and George.
Where's the fun in prying into a guy's past? Save all that talk for your number one in class. Who's the lucky girl anyway? Elisa? Laura? Emma? Fee? And don't tell me it's Milliam, because, you know,
I'm serious, Crow. I really want to know. Think of telling me your past as paying off the interest you owe in that 50 mira. Because until I know, until we know, we won't be able to move forward.
You're really serious.
Crow?
My past really isn't that big of a deal. It's got nothing on yours, that's for sure. So, you really...
Yeah. Nothing you say will change my pleas.
All right, you win. Like I said, it's just your run-of-the-mill sob story. Pick up any history textbook and you'll probably find a dozen others just like it. It's the kind of story that's so common no one bothers to remember it, like it never even happened. Back in those days, Jirai was known as Jirai City. It was a city-state off the coast of northwest Zemuria that prospered through maritime trade with West Erebonia, Northumbria, and Remiferia. It had a population of around 150,000 people, so it wasn't exactly a big place or anything. Because of that, the surrounding nations left it alone and let us live out our days in peace. We were pretty fortunate, all things considered. Until about 20 years ago. That was when the Northumbrian disaster struck, and much of the Principality of Northumbria was turned to salt. And as a result, trade on the northwest shore was reduced to virtually nothing. Day after day, Jirai's prosperity started to fade away. Still, it wasn't all bad. We had our fishing, our historic landmarks, our septium mine. We could make use of those to get trade going again, both to keep our state running and to help out Northumbria. In fact, the one who advocated that approach was the mayor, my grandfather. He was the last mayor Jirai City ever had. He was a stubborn old bastard, but he had this wry sense of humor, and was well loved by everyone. I lost my mom and dad early, so he was also my only... He taught me just about everything a guy could. He was like a mom, dad, and your old master rolled into one, I guess. Anyway, fast forward to 10 years ago. Out of nowhere, we received this proposal from the Erebonian government. They said they wanted to extend a railway line from Heimdall all the way to Jirai. We relied on the sea for trade before, but there wasn't any reason to believe we couldn't benefit from being connected to Heimdall by rail. The proposal drew overwhelming support from the city's council, and as a result, Within a year, the city had all of its old life back and then some. The streets were more bustling than ever. But keep in mind, this was the result of huge amounts of imperial capital flowing into the city. Land and buildings we once treasured were bought up left and right. Everything became a target for investment. People only cared. Something similar supposedly happened in Crossbell too, but unlike there, no opposition existed in Jirai. My grandfather sensed something was off, and he tried what he could to get the situation under control. Then one day, someone blew up the rail. Everyone demanded that it be repaired as quickly as possible. Everyone except. Instead, they panned our national security arrangements for being insufficient and threatened to withdraw all. The city was left in an uproar like we'd never seen. Shares plummeted, and with no one able to ascertain the culprit's identity, chaos. That was when he, Chancellor Gileath Osborne, in his third year as representative of the Imperial government, we then received a second.
The restoration of the railway and its future security will be seen to by the In return for our continued assistance in safekeeping, Jirai will come under the wing of our glorious and attain even greater prosperity as a special economic zone.
The timing was too good to be true, really. Realizing this, my grandfather staunchly opposed the idea. He tried everything he could to convince the city's council to reject the offer. Unfortunately, once you taste the sweet fruit of prosperity, it's hard to want to go back. The council, made up of influential merchants and all their greed, jumped. And tempted by the elimination of customs, together with the tax breaks from being an SEZ, many of the citizens, and during all that, they'd conveniently found a suspect behind my grandfather. He loved Jirai more than anyone, and up till then, its people loved him, and yet virtually overnight, he found himself facing the wrath of both the city's council and the citizens. Left with no choice, he resigned from his position as mayor, and Jirai formally became part of the empire. Both of these things happened on the same. That was 8 years ago. Naturally, everyone knew my grandfather wasn't the one who did it. They knew who was really responsible. They just turned a blind eye to the truth. See? I warned you. Just your run-of-the-mill sob story.
I don't know what to say, Crow. What happened to him after that? Your grandfather.
One day, he just up and died. Once he resigned, the whole affair with the railway getting blown up was all but forgotten. He lived comfortably in retirement for about half a year, fell ill, and that was that. He just lost the will to go on, I guess. Like I said, he was the only family I had. I mean, I had plenty of friends even then, but I chose to leave. I wandered the land, doing whatever I had to get by. That was when I met old Cayenne, who happily indulged my hatred for the Chancellor. And with his financial backing, I went out with the goal to find others who were just like me. That was the beginning of the Imperial Liberation Front. Gideon, Scarlet, and Vulcan were among those I recruited. I had also met Vita then. I only knew her as the woman who would often come to see Cayenne. She guided me to a place below the city of Ordis, and there slept the Azure Knight Ordine. One after another, I overcame the same trials you did with your friends, but alone. And once I'd proven myself worthy, Ordine accepted me as his awakener. That was 3 years ago. I was 16. My preparations complete, I concealed my background and enrolled in a military academy near the capital. Everything I did for the sole purpose of taking the Chancellor's head. Come on now, what's with the face? You look sadder about all this than I do.
Yeah, I guess.
I swear. I'm not trying to tell you the Chancellor was evil or anything.
What?
Still, there's no denying that he managed to outwit my grandfather. And he may have lost, but Pop's always loved a good gamble. It's thanks to him that I'm pretty good at chess, card games, that kind of... I'd say it's fairly normal for a student to want to avenge his master's defeat, wouldn't you?
Maybe.
At the end of the day, there's no denying this country has problems, and the Chancellor's methods were making them worse. I studied those problems, worked out how to use the situation to my advantage, and then won the game with an all-or-nothing gamble. But when you think of how peaceful Jirai is now... I'd say I've got a duty to clear up the mess left behind by my game too, which... So it's only when that's done that my game is truly over. I don't want whatever your decision is to be influenced by mine. Like Rufus said, you need to think long and hard about what it is for you, more than anyone else.
Yeah, but...
Anyway, I think I've stuck around here for long. You're going to be treated as a visitor. It's about time for the higher-ups to head back to Heimdall, so go ahead and pass the time however you want.
However I want?
There'll be no guards outside your room, so if you just keep in mind that some members of Ouroboros and Zephyr are on board too. Not to mention me, Scarlet, and Vol. So if you're up for a gamble of your own, get ready to take all of us on.
Sounds fun.
Oh yeah, one more thing. There's this real cute visitor in the guest of honors room. I think she'd perk right up if she saw you, so why not go pay her a visit? Just don't go making your girl jealous, okay?
I wonder who he means. He said she's in the guest of honors. Well, I can't waste much time here. I told everyone right now, I need to gather as much information as I can. I can make my choice after that. Sense some...
Come on in if you...
That sounds like... Excuse me.
Hello there, love. I'd heard you came on board yesterday, so I did wonder whether we would run into one another.
Hello, Scarlet. Last time we spoke was a month and a half ago near Trista, I think.
Quite a memorable day for both of us, wasn't it? There's no need to stand over there. Come and have a seat. I'll pour us some tea.
You really don't have... Well, I guess there's no harm in chat.
These tea leaves really are wonderful, aren't they? Only the best for the airship of Erebonia's
I have to admit, the fragrance is like no tea I've ever had before. You're right, though. It makes sense if it's something Duke Cayenne personally chose.
Oh? I was under the impression that your family is a part of the nobility, too. Your father is a baron.
He might be a noble, but generally barons aren't all that wealthy. We live a relatively modest lifestyle.
Oh, really? I wouldn't have thought it before, but maybe my family was actually more well-off than yours.
And Scarlet, I heard she lost her old hometown when he went and...
What kind of family did you come from, then?
Oh, they weren't nobles, if that's what you're wondering. They were just relatively wealthy farmers. We were almost local celebrities in a way.
Oh, I see.
It's written all over your...
Well, I can't deny that I'm curious. I heard that you lost...
Oh, no, I suppose it must have...
So...
Some things are best. It's not as if no...
I suppose.
You're so adorable. What do you say? How about you...
Please, stop Anyway, thank you for... It wasn't just made with high-quality leaves.
You're very...
Oh, actually, I may as well ask... Where did you learn how to use that weapon of...
Oh, that? I suppose it can't hurt to tell.
The Arteria? Where the high seat of the Septian Church is?
That's the one. It's called a Templar sword, and it's a traditional weapon. A few years ago, I was studying to be a sister and was trained in how to use it there.
Surely you must be talking about someone. You're telling me there are sisters in the Septian Church who use weapons like that?
There are more things in this world you don't know than you... Well, it doesn't matter much now.
Oh?
Anyway, that's all I'm telling. I'll give you the full story if you decide to join us. So, and if you choose not to join, well, that way has its own...
She ended up being a lot friendlier than I expected her to be. I wonder how much of what... She seemed to really hate the champ. I wonder what she intends to do. I can sense someone in... Judging by the...
Huh? It's open.
Excuse me.
Oh, it's you. You finished talking with C?
His name's Crow, and he's never going to be anything else for me.
Oh, I know his real name. But to us, he's always gonna be C. That's our leader. He might be young, but each and every one of us look up to him and respect him. Anyway, take a seat. You got a whole lot of questions, I bet.
Does you asking that mean... Just out of curiosity, how many members does the I know the explosion back in the mine was staged, obviously.
Sure was. Anyway, we lost most of our members as soon as the war started.
Oh. Is that because the group's primary objective had been...
Basically, yeah. We all came from different backgrounds. But the one thing we had in common was that we hated that bastard's guts. So after he'd kicked it, most of the guys didn't really have any... Can't say I blame them for calling it quits.
Crow said that seeing this war through to its end was the last part of his... Are the members who haven't left sticking...
Can't speak for the others, but me, I don't really care how this war goes. I mean, I'm a former Jaeger who can hold his own in a fight. I've always lived, and teaching those dumbasses in the provincial armies how to pilot soldats is a job worth doing, even if it's a pain. If we disband, I'll find myself something else to do.
I see. I can't defend the assassination of the Chancellor or what you did near Trista. But I'd be happy if you chose to disband at least.
You're a funny kid, being oddly nice to us after all the shit we caused.
The cycle of hatred's gone on for long enough. Crimes you've committed will never vanish, but no one wants this war to go on. It's not as though you guys want war, do you?
That's enough of them. You've got time to worry about us. Whether you choose to side with the Alliance or go against, you've got a tough road ahead. Make sure to think long and hard, and if we end up as enemies again, on the battlefield, I mean.
Excuse me.
Think I might have been still. Yeah. He's probably perfect for the job.
He saw right through me. He's not wrong, though. He seemed kind of different. His sole objective in life, maybe he's just not sure.
Good day to you.
What the? You're the... You sure look comfortable. What are you...
Ha ha! Why wouldn't I be? I'm as much a guest on this ship as you are. And who would deny themselves the pleasure of a ship so beautiful? The furnishings are immaculate. The food and wine are positively and I am of the firm belief that it's wasteful not to take advantage of the opportunities life presents you. Ah, and speaking of opportunities, don't just stand there. Take a seat and join me. You've been blessed with the rare chance to sit and chat one-on-one.
I can't believe that's how you describe yourself. Well, what the hell? Nothing alcoholic. Funny. I didn't realize you'd met Prince Oliver.
Indeed. There are few even among royals whose palate is so refined as he. Between our shared love of beauty and fundamental difference of opinion on the nature of love, he forever remains an endless source of entertainment for me.
I suddenly feel very sorry. What happened down in Liberl sounds pretty amazing, though. I'd heard there were problems with orbital technology in southern Erebonia at the time, but I had no idea that was why.
Ha-ha! That magnificent floating city was quite the sight to behold, let me tell you. Oh, how I wish it would have changed your...
It really does sound amazing. Wait, why am I sitting here having a friendly discussion with a wanted? He has so many interesting and unusual stories. I got
Ha-ha! A thief of my caliber can steal much more. There. I was able to steal much of your time and your interest. Perhaps I stole your...
Rest assured that did not happen. Your stories were interesting, though. By the way, you wouldn't happen to... Last I checked, he wasn't actively...
Ha-ha! I imagined Duke Cayenne would welcome a man like the Prince with open arms into the Alliance. To my knowledge, he was always wary of the Chancellor himself. But I digress. I'm afraid not even I. However, I'm inclined to believe that wherever he's hiding, the Crimson Wings is there with him.
So the Courageous is missing too, then. Although the Duke's got some nerve if he expects Prince Oliver to...
But think... These kinds of the War of the Lions, too. Emperor Dreikel's. I wonder, does Prince Oliver think himself as the second coming of Dreikel?
One of which is to bring the winds of change to Thor's military academy. I'll admit, I hesitated to allow it, but I decided to place my hopes in you. We believed then, as we still do, that one day you...
I don't think he does. From what I can tell, he intends to try and end this war in a slightly different way from Dreikel's.
Oh? Do tell.
Sorry, but I should be going. Thanks for all the interesting stories.
Ha-ha! I'm pleased. I will be waiting at the edge of my seat to hear which path you choose. Join us, and you'll be warmly welcome. Naturally, I'm fascinated by you as the Ashen Knight's pipe. But I'm even more fascinated with that brute strength of yours. I would love the chance to see the power of an ogre.
I doubt it's half as interesting as what you're thinking. Anyway... wonder who's in...
we got a visitor?
Come on in.
Excuse me.
Figured it was you.
Have a seat. Bourbon?
Yeah, how come you guys are being so... I mean, we're on opposing sides and all.
Why wouldn't we be? It's not like we're on a battlefield. We're Jaegers. Nothing unusual about us trying to cut some throats one day that's sitting in a bar with the same guys the next.
Of course. If you would rather fight with us, that can be arranged.
I shall have to politely decline. For one thing, I don't think I'd stand the slightest chance of taking you...
Hey, now, no need to be so pessimistic. He seems to think pretty highly of you. Have a little...
At the very least, you'd be able to give us a real fight in your divine. Not that I'd have any intention of losing even then.
The scary thing is, I'm pretty sure he's dead serious. Well, they're used to taking out tanks. They probably...
Oh, yeah? Ranking 72nd for the year in an academy full of big shot students ain't half bad. Brings a tear to my eye to see our little Fee putting her heart into her education.
And don't forget, she was the youngest of her classmates, too. The boss was right when he said that she can do anything she puts her...
You got that right. Maybe joining the gardening club will make her a bit more lady. Oh, who am I kidding?
She's still young. She has plenty of time to develop on...
They really seem to adore her. Like two proud parents talking about their child. And yet... If you don't mind me asking, why did you, after your boss was killed in a battle with his sworn enemy, I mean?
Oh, Fee told you about that. It sounds like you're closer to her than I thought you were.
I trust this is simply me being... But you haven't tried making any moves on her, have
you? No, of course not. I just want to know why you'd abandon her when she obviously means she thought of you all like family. Why did you leave her all alone?
Well... We had our reasons. I know you want to know, but you're not the one we should be telling that to.
We'll be sure to tell Fee our reasons until then.
All right. I can... Still, she's our classmate. And we feel that way about her just as strong. I want to be...
Fighting words right there.
Still, returning to the matter at hand.
You're sure you haven't tried to make any moves on her?
Come on, spit it out.
They really are like two over... I was hoping to get a bit more out of them about what Zeph... All we did was... Well, at least...
Having to travel to and from Crossbell like this... No, I mustn't complain. I'm doing this for the sake of my lord.
She...
Wait! You're the
I remember you now. You're with Ouroboros. Duvali the...
Have you no shame? Is it perhaps normal for you to... You and that Arseid are only as bad as each other, I swear! Learn your place!
Actually, I just walked through the door normally. I should have probably knocked before I came in, though. Sorry about that.
So, now have you come to tell me that you'll be...
Can you not jump to conclusions? Besides, it's not like you're working with the Alliance because you agree with...
Oh, naturally. Lady Clotilde seems to have a purpose of her own. But for my part, I have no obligation to help the Alliance. I'm simply cooperating because I was told doing so was necessary to the plan.
Plan? Just so we're clear, that Lord you keep...
No. She may be an Anguis like her, but my lord is the 7th, not the 2nd. She is the leader of the Stahlritter. The great light which guides us. Gallant yet beautiful. She's the strongest knight of all. And oh, she's simply divine.
Well, you've made it clear how great you think she is. So the head of the Stahlritter is also...
She certainly is. And if you must know, 100 swordsmen, no, 1,000, even 10,000.
Okay, I get it. She's strong. Still, if she's a woman who could be described as the strongest knight of all, Laura already noticed the similarity between the Eisenritter and the Stahlritter, but she really...
I see I've got you thinking. Incidentally, I may have already mentioned her title, but one can never share my... She's known as the Steel Maiden.
The Steel Maiden?
And with that, I believe that's enough idle... If you didn't come to tell me that you'll be fighting on ours as such, we shouldn't be standing here being friendly with one another.
Yeah, I suppose. Sorry for bothering. Actually, there was... You're not an enforcer like Blue Blanc or Cher. Is there any reason for that?
You just... Enforcers are selected by the Society's leader. And in order to be selected as one and given a number, that person needs to be burdened by some kind of darkness. But just so we're clear, there is no correlation between having a number and one's strength, all right? I'm quite...
I didn't say you weren't, but it makes perfect sense. You don't strike me as someone who's carrying any kind of... You're refreshingly sincere. Like someone who hates anything that strays from the path of right.
I'll thank you not to spout such nauseating drivel in my presence. Now get the hell out of my room!
She chased me. I'm really curious about... Could she really have some connection? Perhaps even with the... Huh? Given the circumstances... Huh? It's empty. Oh. Looking at her lying down like this, she really is just a child. Maybe 12 or 13? Somewhere close to Milliam's age. How did a kid like this end up fighting with the Alliance?
Who are you? Who's calling me?
Is she talking in her...
Situation assessed. Location is a room inside the guest. 9 hours have passed since initial loss of consciousness.
Guess she's sleeping comfortably enough here. Then again, she needs it at her age. She's got plenty of growing left. Wait.
Huh?
Good morning?
Rean Schwarzer. Why are you here? Unless my memories have been tampered with, I believe this room was solely allocated to me.
Oh, it was. Sorry. If I'd known you were sleeping, I wouldn't have...
So you're an intruder then? Clown Soleus.
No, it was... Whoa! Can we at least...
No mercy for trespass. So you claim to have no inappropriate motive.
Not claim! I really didn't!
But once you walked in, you fell victim to temptation and chose to act in accordance to your desires.
No! No! How many times do I have to explain what happened before you'll believe me?
I was making a joke. Had you any intention of harming me, Clown Soleus would have attacked you. That he didn't proves your innocence.
Oh, right. Then what was all that? Oh, whatever. Anyway, I've cleared my name. I'll see you.
If that's what you want to do, you didn't come to ask me anything?
Well, no. Honestly, I didn't even know you were in here. I do have a lot I'd like to ask you, though. And just as much I'd like to say to you. Okay, if you're offering, what are your reasons for helping the Alliance? Why do you have a puppet just like Mill? Just who?
The answer to your first question is, I was ordered to do so. As all information regarding Clown Soleus is confidential, I am unable to answer your second question. And as for the last one, I am unable to fully comprehend the depth of your question.
Oh, forget it. You abducted my sister and the princess. Whether you were ordered to or not does... And it's not something I think I can forgive. Sorry. I can't pretend to know anything, but I do know that you didn't abduct them. Anyway, with that said, maybe we'll have a chance to talk again sometime.
The Black Workshop.
What?
That's the name of the place I belong to. It was they who loaned me to the noble. Unless you choose to join the Alliance, that is the most...
The name doesn't ring any... And loaned? I suppose it's not... Thanks for telling me. I'll be sure to remember that name.
I can't see doing so holding any Incidentally, did you have any untoward motives behind what you just...
No. The Black Workshop sounds like stuff... I can sense... What the...
Oh, it's you. Forgot you were staying here too.
Yeah. What was that? It's gone now anyway.
So what's up? I couldn't give a damn whether you joined the Alliance.
Oh, I didn't come here for...
Interesting. You mixed by any chance?
Could I sit and talk to you?
So, what do you want to ask?
When we ran into each other back near Berea Hard, something about being mixed?
Oh, that?
I didn't have the chance to figure out what that, but what did you mean?
Don't know if I can even explain that one. It's just something you feel. What we've got mixed into us is obviously different in strength and nature. It's kind of hard to put into...
Yeah, seems that... I know you're not trying to confuse me on purpose, but I really can't wrap my head around...
There's no trick to it. I'm not using an ornament, it's not magic, and I'm not using an artifact either. I just will fire to appear, and it does.
So it's just a totally unnatural ability?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Something that just gives you results, without the processes you'd usually have to go through to obtain them. You've got one too.
Well, true. That power of mine, I don't even know where the power itself is coming.
It's the same kind of thing. People who can do things like that usually have something mixed into them. Something foreign, unnatural, mixed into their body itself. Different to the church's stigmas. Looks like a pretty small part of it in your case.
Oh.
There, huh? Anyway, I couldn't tell you. Sure you've got more questions, but sorry.
No, it's okay. I feel like I understand myself a little bit.
Good for you, I guess. So, we done now?
Yeah. Thanks for your... Oh yeah. So how much of you is unnatural?
Me? All of me.
His circumstances seem very different from... Guess all I can do is remember what he said. Maybe there will come... I'm sure one day I'll find out what this power of mine is. What the story behind me being given this power is. One day. This should be the guest of honor's room. Time to see who's inside. Sons, excuse me. I had a feeling it was you, but I didn't dare to.
It's really you!
Your Highness.
Please don't tell me it is. I don't think my heart could handle the disappointment.
I'm so glad you're safe. I'm so sorry that you had to go through all of this. If I hadn't been so weak and...
You mustn't have... Simply being able to see you again is more than I could have hoped for.
You must have been really lonely. I'm here for you now, though. But I'm not going anywhere.
So that's what you've been doing all this time?
Yeah, I was happy all of us were able to get back together again. But then yesterday, I ended up being invited onto the ship by Duke Cayenne. That's why I'm here.
I do recall thinking things were a little noisier than usual yesterday. Strange as it may sound, I suppose I owe the Duke. After all, if not for his invitation, we wouldn't have been able to find each other like this.
Sorry. I wish I could say I'd snuck on board. Incidentally, I hesitate to ask.
You want to know where Elise is. She's not on this ship, I can't say for sure. But I believe she's been taken to the same place.
Really?
I'm sure it isn't news to you that my mother, father, and Cedric have been imprisoned somewhere. And apparently, they've chosen Elise to be my family's attendant. So it's likely wherever they've been taken, she's right there with them.
Really? I'm not sure whether to feel relieved or what.
I can hardly...
But why were you alone in Surely there must be...
That was Duke Cayenne's I believe he's using me to suppress potential rebellion in areas occupied by the Alliance, by having me address the people and calm them down.
Forgive me for saying so, but that's...
I don't especially mind doing it, honestly. It's a simple enough. People all across Erebonia are uneasy about this war. And as princess, I should do what's within my power to help...
But at the expense of your own feelings? I know you want to help, but you can't be happy about being used as the Alliance. Plus, you've been forcibly separated from your...
Yes, but... Oh, why even bother? Anyway, putting my feelings aside, what do you plan to... I presume you don't intend to actually do whatever Duke Cayenne...
Well... I'm really not. The longer this war goes on, the more people will suffer because of it. But even so, I don't feel as though siding with the Noble Alliance is the right course of action. And the same goes for the Imperial Army. I can't in good conscience side with them.
I see.
There's so much to think about. You're being used as a... And then Elise is imprisoned somewhere too, being forced to do who knows what. I have to act somehow to change things.
That wasn't your fault.
Ever since I was taken in by my family all those years ago, I've tried to be a brother figure to her. I became the person I am today. They've always loved me like they would a real son, and she's always treated me like a real older brother. You saw that power of mine, didn't you? And what I look like when I use it?
Well,
Back when I was a kid, something just like she should have been terrified of me. But if she was, she never once let it show. She treated me exactly... And that was when I swore, deep within my heart, no matter what happened, no matter... And that's why I can't help but wonder. I can't help but wonder if now's the time to live up to that promise, if I should put her before everything else. Even if I have to ignore or outright betray my own personal belief.
Rean. As your honorary little sister,
What? Your Highness.
I know Elise far better than you think I do. In fact, I'd even go as far as to say I know her better than you. Rean, she's already told me so much about what happened 8 years ago. She told me about how that snowy day was what inspired you to take up the sword. She told me how traumatic that moment was for you. How what happened stays with you. And she even told me that, while she hated how she felt the tiniest bit happy because of it. Because it meant that your attention, your guilt, and your sense of responsibility were directed towards her and no one else. And she knew more than anyone how selfish that was. She may have had other reasons for choosing to go to Saint Estrella, but her main reason was that she didn't want you to keep feeling more than anything else. She... You should know, when you joined Thor's and were making new friends, and you finally seemed to be... She felt a little jealous. And so please, Rean, please don't use Elise to justify not... Because I know for a fact, she wants you, of all people, to carve your own path.
How can I have been so blunt? All this time I thought I was trying to protect her, and it's been the other way around since the start. And that's not just true for her either. All my friends at Thor's, they've been supporting me this whole time. How could I have missed something so obvious? I think I finally understand what I've been lacking inside of me all this time. I was so focused on trying to protect others. Others try to support me, just like I try to support. How did I not realize before now? But better to realize late than never, I suppose. Because now I finally feel like I'm...
Are you alright?
I'm fine. And I've got you to thank for, so... I think it's time. I wouldn't want to keep my class...
A pity, but... I was rather hoping we could stay like this a little while longer. Take care of yourself, Ri, no matter what it takes. Why are you shaking?
There's no way I'm leaving. I will...
Right! So...
Valimar, he's chained up first.
Alright then. I never imagined I'd be running away from here with you, Elise.
There are a lot of very strong people here, so try to keep your voice down.
Not to worry.
Thought it's a...
Well, that's convenient. Might it lead to some...
Most likely. I can't very well...
Nonsense, Reen. Of course you can.
But it's going to be all dark and...
A little bit of darkness and dirt. I had to travel through some fairly narrow underground passage. All right?
No, definitely... You'd think a princess would be more mindful when she's wearing a dress.
I'm surprised. It's not dirty at all in here.
Maybe it's because the ship's newly built?
Oh! There's a corner!
We must be past the guest area then.
It's like I've stepped right into the world of one of those spy novels that are so popular these days. What is it?
Soldiers.
It's pretty... I just would... Oh.
What? Too late! Now's our chance! Let's get him! My turn!
It's my turn! in a neat little bow.
Oh, they're strong. Are you all right, Your Highness?
Yes, I'm fine. Let's be going.
Good.
Escaping through the windows would be an option.
Probably not. We'll have to do this the long way.
Good luck, Green!
My turn. Second form. Game! Now's our chance.
It's my turn. Arcus, activate! Ha! That wraps things up in a neat little bow. Are they mechanical monsters?
There they are. Recover the...
Who?
Two soldiers. Stay back, please.
Right. Good luck, Green!
My turn. There!
Right! That wraps things up in a neat little bow.
I'm shocked how skilled you are with arts.
You are? You're so sweet. Oh, look! A staircase!
Hopefully this will lead to the deck. How did you get ahead of...
Ha ha! I'll freely admit I wasn't actually, but not even in my wildest.
You're a bold...
I wasn't expecting to run into you. You guys aren't called...
Trying to praise us won't get us to...
Ha! Princess Al, you surely couldn't have thought that I, the Phantom Thief, would allow you to steal her from us, could you?
I'm not being stupid. If anything, I was the one who whispered sweet nothings into his ear and tempted him.
Oh my! What a passionate young lady, you've no doubt.
I'd like to believe that I'm not quite the oddball he is. I couldn't agree more with his belief that love is the truest form of beauty, however.
Really now?
They're actually hitting it.
I think that's enough, messing. You're an enforcer, Blue Blanc. Take your work seriously.
Ha ha! I think the number of enforcers who take things still. You're right about us having played around. I find the many mysteries surrounding you fascinating, but there's a certain appeal to them remaining forever.
You may think yourself a swordsman, but allow me to show you how little you truly...
Are you sure you can do this?
I'll be fine. Don't the gap in skill, but...
Oh. Small! Then allow...
The one being fooled...
Green?
I owe me being able to do this to you, you know.
What
could this... 8 leagues, 1 blade school, intermediate. I, Green Schwarzer.
I will enjoy this.
This is...
Let's move. There! My turn. My blade will cleave ignorance and light the way. Termination slash! What?
How can this be happening? What is...
Ha ha ha! So you finally conquered your power and made it your own, did you?
Green!
Forgive me, Your Highness.
What for?
Gordon!
Wait just a...
What? What's going on?
I don't know, but I don't think...
We'll make our way directly to the... Are you all right, Your Highness?
Yes! Perfectly! My heart just feels it.
That doesn't sound very fine.
Come on, it's now really...
You're here to...
But you ain't getting past...
Zephyr's guard shall...
Looks like he's picked up a few tricks from...
The targets have broken our line of defense.
I'm sorry about that, Your Highness.
I'm fine. Can I hold on to you a little tighter?
Of course.
Targets in sight. Commencing capture. My suspicions outlining you.
Can you not make me out?
target lost. I may have underestimated you, Rean, in more ways than one.
I'm so sorry, Your Highness.
I know you did, she... How could you, Rean?
Try not to pay any attention to what she says about me. There's the exit.
Don't change the subject. That's the Ashen Knight? Isn't that... Crow?
Huh. So that's...
You finally mastered that power you got, huh? Still, you're one minute you're down in the dumps, the next, you've got one of the cutest girls...
Well, I can't deny, but she wasn't the only one.
Come on.
Can't say I'm not curious to see what, but I think you get priority.
Yeah, let me have it.
Your Highness.
All right.
This is your first time fighting me with our Divine Knight. Let's see who wins.
Sounds good to me. You managed to win against 3 of us at once in the catacombs below. But it's just you and me now. And
go ahead and try. All right. You ready, Rean?
Let's move.
Arcane Gale!
My turn. Let's move. My blade will cleave ignorance and light the way.
Not bad.
Eat this!
Here I go. My turn.
Damn.
That's what I can really do.
Huh. You actually... I sure wasn't expecting you to beat me one-on-one.
You fought pretty well yourself. Couldn't have been easy to last as long as you did again.
Guess your luck ran out.
We finally caught up to you.
Well, aren't you, Mr.
But I think you may have been...
That wasn't a bad fight, even if you lost.
Your Highness, please move away from...
Hey, don't be too rough with... Look sharp!
What are you all...
Sorry for the...
You caught us all off guard back in Ymir.
So this time we opted to take the initiative out.
We meet again, Severing Chick.
She brought more than that.
We couldn't ask for.
Here it comes again.
Your lord...
Uncle Victor!
It's good to see you again, and it relieves me to see you.
Ugh! The Radiant Blade Master is...
Huh. You're strong.
That's quite the nod. I can see now why you're considered one of the fiercest, and why some even claim you to be the Steel Maiden.
Well, I know who I'm gonna be fighting.
Don't you go forgetting about us.
You're all here too?
Are you okay, Reen?
Looks like we've landed in the middle of...
And not a moment to...
You came!
Glad to see you're all right.
You certainly seem to have kept yourself busy. Enjoy.
He gave me the time of my life. You guys were having that much fun, huh?
And with our Princess Reen?
To think we were so worried. You're not supposed to take it literal.
So this is what you threw me out of Valimar. Crow.
It feels like it's been ages since we...
You're looking spiffy, Crow.
I'm hanging in there. Sure wasn't expecting all of you to show up, though. How are we even gonna settle?
That is the question. I'd roughly estimate both sides to be of equal strength.
Yeah? So we'd probably just end up in a...
Oh, doesn't sound like much fun at all.
Ha ha ha! I could never turn down.
That sounds simply what.
I'll bring the booze.
Ah! No, no, no! Can't one of you take this?
This is getting us nowhere.
Look who decided to show up.
Krianos! Vita!
Welcome aboard the Pantagruel, Emma. Your overall ability as a witch might still be lacking, but that transportation spell was exceptional. I must apologize for the untimely intrusion. As displeased as if I'll be the one who bears the brunt.
Vita.
Can't say I understand why we should.
It's not our place to question the order.
Whatever. Gives me something.
Okay.
Next time we meet.
Yep, I know.
Aww, I was kind of hoping we...
I expect we will have multiple opportunities.
Well, catch you later, Phantom.
Or not. You do know that no one likes...
Tut tut! There's no need to be so harsh. It's a shame we couldn't resume our debate on the nature of beauty this time, my most worthy rival.
I could wax eloquent about beauty till I'm old and gray, but honestly, I think it's about time we settled things between us.
Next time we meet, Radiant Blade Master and his daughter, it will...
Well, I certainly have no...
You seem to bear some manner of ill will against my household. I don't know your reason, but should we be granted the opportunity, I would gladly...
Yes, well, let's not be too hasty.
I can wait.
Guess that wraps things up for now. You've definitely grown, but you've still got plenty of room for improvement, especially when it comes. So unless you're up for another beatdown, I suggest you.
Yeah. Oh. And you were the one who told Toval where I was, right?
2 days ago, they gave me this crazy amount of detail. Oh, now that you mention it, I did think he sounded familiar. It must have been because I'd heard it during your
Damn, looks like the jig is up.
You really did that?
Oh, Crow, there's no shame in admitting that you care, you know.
And if I might be so bold as to get Valimar a better sword, one like, if you think you're such hot stuff you can beat me without your 8 leaves training, you're in for a world of...
Correct choice of armaments is indeed selecting one the Awakener is well.
I can't pretend to know much about this.
He's right. Eastern blades like my Tachi are the heart and soul of the 8 leaves. Alright, and when I've got myself one, I'll finally take out the Academy, the League, and even you, Crow.
If that's how you want it, I'd like to see you try.
Full speed ahead!
Commence retreat from this airspace.